questioning as to whether it's healthy for us to have such a reliance. It's also concerned that this sort of reliance will be something that, as future generations, um, exist, that it'll be more and more considered essential.
I got it. Hey, Jessica, you need to go do your deal real quick, but any final observations about this?
Yeah, I think definitely it's weird. My observation is that it's really weird to think like 10, maybe 14, 15 years ago, nobody had this. And now it's like completely everybody needs to have it at all times next to their bed. It's an interesting change.
Yeah, it really is. I
That
mean,
was, Jess, that was the point of my little sarcastic, cynical comment about the New York Times article, which I made up, by the way. Um, but I first got my first mobile phone. It was an in-car mobile phone. Was in 1992. Yeah, it was in 1991 or 1992. And I just thought it was, I used to have envy with seeing people that had the little squirrely antenna out the back window of their car. Remember those, Mike?
oh,
That you
absolutely.
had a car phone and you had the little screw-in thing that was on the back window. And I remember driving around being envious. Oh, they've got a phone in their car. Oh, they've got a phone in their car. And within a fairly short period of time, I found that it was certainly for business absolutely essential. I mean, like, think about I'm in the car for 20 or 30 minutes. I can make phone calls. I can get shit done.
And I remember those days. Didn't you feel like all powered when you finally go, like, oh my God, I'm talking on the phone. It's in my car with me wherever I go. Of course, younger folks may not remember that we originally called them car phones because
I
that's what
do
they
remember.
were.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, and it's just so worse now. I mean, I don't know if they people like us could go to a 12-step program or whatever, but I don't want to. I do not.
Well, see,
I
that's the point, man. I remember in the late 90s, I was working for a business. I was in the I ran a division of a manufacturer's rep firm in the car business, and we had pagers, of course, and we
Mhm.
had worked out this elaborate system for messaging from the home office to our pager, and then we got these new pagers where they could actually, it was alphanumeric, and this was before, obviously, before texting was a thing, and we had this ability to alphanumeric message one another via our beepers, and it was like a brave new world, man.
I know. I don't know, but anyway. All right. So we just did about 20 minutes on that thing, but I think that was, it's not important, but it's interesting because you got to know listeners. And if we were to put up a post about this, and you can have at this that you want on IJR, I think you would do it well. But I think this strikes home with a hell of a lot of people. Hence the profits, the recent quarterly profit report of Apple.
Oh, which is insane. Yeah. Now, back to, I want to talk about the Apple thing, but before that, the connectedness thing, I want to link to something you had talked about yesterday about Facebook bugging you.
Okay.
That sometime you had mentioned, was it yesterday or was it
Oh
on
yeah,
Monday that
dude.
Facebook
Oh, absolutely. I
sometimes
could
bugs you?
mention it every day of the week. Yeah, but sure. Yesterday
All
we
right.
talked about it.
I don't know if you saw the post on my personal wall, not my house rules with Michael Hausen wall, but on my personal wall last night, yesterday afternoon. If you post Holocaust denier, anti-Israel, or truth or shit, your ass is unfriended and blocked.
Okay, back
FYI.
up the bus a minute. Say that again.
If you post Holocaust denier, anti-Israel, or truther shit, your ass is unfriended and blocked.
Oh, okay.
FYI.
Yeah. See, I missed. I was looking over here at my notes. Somehow I translated that to you're suspended by Facebook for a while, and of course that would be hilarious. But it's even more hilarious what you just said because I'm not surprised.
Yeah, there was a guy that I had no idea when I became Facebook friends with this cat. But I mean, he and I have like 80 friends in common,
Hmm.
friends that you and I have in common, and friends that we've seen on national television and read in national publication in
Right.
common. So
Sure.
at some point, I got a friend request from this guy. Totally didn't recognize his name. You go to the friends in common, and I see, you know, Kyle Becker, Larry O'Connor. I don't remember if your name was on there, but a bunch of people that I know,
Hmm.
Ben Shapiro, Kurt Schlichter, Nick Searcy, and at some point I became friends with them. I didn't go into a look. Well, I got into an argument with this guy. He had a post about how the fractional reserve banking system is immoral and wrong. And for econ nerds like you and I, when I say fractional reserve banking, you understand what that means.
Sure.
Uh, Basically, you deposit your money into a bank, they keep some of it and lend the rest out. And so I got into an argument about it, starting out saying, this is the most incoherent, most ridiculous post I've seen all day.
Hmm. Okay, so
uh,
hang on to that for just a second, because I know a fair amount about that. Who was against them hanging on by the way, FDIC requires somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 14% of deposits to remain liquid. The only way banks make money is by loaning money, and they loan the money. There's obviously some from Federal Reserve and stuff based on money that's deposited in the bank. So who was pro that and who was anti that?
in this conversation,
Yes.
this guy was anti it.
Wow.
He had a rant about the Federal Reserve Bank and their inflationary policies and this and that,
Right.
which I think is fringe crazy, but actually, if you ever read The Creature from Jekyll Island, the Federal Reserve is this weird, bizarre world. But then he gets into the criticizing the banking system itself, and so I'm just saying, dude, this is stupid. Uh, and so as we're into the middle of that, then. I'm kind of going back and forth with him, having a pretty straightforward discussion on banking. And I'm like, oh, what's this guy's deal? So I go down to his timeline, and there is some stuff about Israel, being critical of Israel.
Hmm.
There was a statement that said anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism, which then raised the flag.
Wait,
And
real quick. That's a bullshit argument that they've used for years. But go ahead.
right, and then there was another post he had quoting this this anti-Israel guy. I think his last name is Finkelstein. He's kind of a historian writer, which raised up another red flag.
Interesting name.
Then the kicker was one that he said, FYI, at Auschwitz, near the quote supposed end quote gas chambers were swimming pools, swing sets, and playgrounds.
See, this is who these people are. And Tapson, did you see Tapson's? He put up a similar post.
Well,
I
because here's the deal: is that Tapson and I have that guy in common,
okay,
and
because that
he and
when
I
you
had a conversation.
perfect, I get it now. Because I was thinking as you talk, I said this is exactly what Mark Tapson said last night.
Yeah, Tapson posted that right after he and I decided together to unfriend and block this guy. I put up my post, and my post that I just read from you was almost a verbatim comment that Tapson said to me. And I said,
Mhm.
dude, I'm stealing that and putting it on my wall. And right after that, he put up his.
Okay, got it. And you guys are exactly right, man. We can debate politics with anybody, but when you start getting off into, the Holocaust didn't happen. Sandy Hook Elementary School didn't happen. It was a false flag. Same with 9/11. You're out of here. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want you polluting my threads on my Facebook page or anywhere else. I don't want you even to be able to contact me.
Well, exactly. And it's funny. I was thinking about that this morning that, if somebody puts up a uh, George Washington didn't exist, or Jesus Christ was a myth, or and I made a comment. This is what made me think about bringing it up. Is I said that there are a few things that will get you immediately blocked and unfriended in my Facebook wall, and I specifically didn't go into any details. Somebody puts up a Jesus Christ was a myth. That's not an unfriend and block. That's
No,
probably
no,
a cause for conversation. But
exactly.
when you put the words supposed in quotes next to gas chambers at Auschwitz.
You're out of here.
Um, yeah, that's akin to chemtrails. If you even hint at the possibility that chemtrails are real, you're out. Boom,
That is,
you're
yeah,
done.
we gotta talk about that sometime. The whole chemtrail thing, that's hilarious too. But I'm in the same boat with you guys exactly. And I would also throw in there, you know, I'll debate religion with you. I'll debate most anything, but and I'll debate with you whether the moon landing was faked, right? Because you got that whole crowd.
That's another one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and you got the JFK conspiracy crowd and all that stuff. I love to debate those people, but yeah, when you start coming at me with the Holocaust, the supposed Holocaust, and crap like that, again, as we say, you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Um, oh, it was just really interesting because then when I had to figure out, I mean, unfriending somebody's easy, and I've had a handful of people I've unfriended over the years. Not that many, but I don't know, maybe a dozen or two. But I had to figure out how to actually block someone,
Right.
and
I've
I
done
realized
times. I have a
what
long list. I have a long list of those people. Yeah.
I have a list of now two. Prior to yesterday, there was one person on my blocked list.
See, I don't suffer trolls well. And this goes back, I've been writing now, blogging for, I don't know, 6 years. And there comes a point, when you know what a troll is. A troll knows what a troll is, although they always deny being one. But when they want to hijack a thread on a particular post and they want to go on and on and on and they loop and they loop and they loop, I just don't have time for that crap anymore. Like every once in a while, I like to jump into something, with Todd or people like that. But no, the repetitive nonsense from trolls, those are the people that I block. And of course, if somebody starts swearing at me, and of course, that's happened for years on the blogs. And of course, I immediately
That's a
block.
shocker.
Yeah, who knew? I blocked them from Rat Nation and stuff along the way. But that's another one. So yeah, I love you and I. Again, I think we love to debate. Um, I don't want to say fair-minded, but liberals who don't get out of control and start calling names and doing all that stuff. Unfortunately, I have found in the realm in which you and I exist that that they're few and far between sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny. Dan just commented that he got a Holocaust denier comment when he posted a video of Auschwitz yesterday, and he said that he's blocked 100 people in the last 6.5 years.
Dan, way to go, brother. See, he's here in Greater Chicago. Well, I grew up in Greater Chicagoland, but so I understand where he's coming from. Our tolerance for crap is probably less than yours. Living in
I don't know if it's a tolerance for crap, but my genteel, sweet,
Mm,
fair opinions just don't generate the kind of rabid hatred that yours does,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah, Joe, Fitzgerald. Let's run with that, shall we?
I mean, there's something about you that is infuriating to a great number of people, and I just have less of a response in people than that.
Okay, let me comment on that very quickly, because to an extent you're right, but for the wrong reason. Okay, um, I uh, I write fairly snarkily in terms of response to people, little sarcasm thrown in. But and it's no different than if your significant other jumps your ass because she thinks something you just said that you meant differently than you meant it. So I think maybe because that's my writing style, that maybe I piss off liberals quicker than you do.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right, dude. 30 seconds to go. That was quick, but yeah, I'll send you the link on the dependence on iPhones. We got to probably put that up. And if you want to write something on an AutoJR, have at it. 10 seconds. All right, listen, we're going to be back with our friend of the show and just an all-around great guy, MRC's Dan Joseph. So